There is a moment every man fears, but never sees coming. She does not leave with a suitcase or a slammed door. She leaves in the silence, in the shorter answers, in the laugh she no longer turns to share with you. Most men never understand why, until it is too late. But what if keeping the woman you love comes down to just 7 things that nobody ever taught you? What you're about to find out might change everything. But before we dive in, if you are new here, welcome. Please take a second right now to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We bring you powerful insights that help men understand women better, attract the right partner, and build the kind of love that actually lasts. You do not want to miss what is coming. Now, let us get into it. There is a woman sitting across from a man she has loved for 3 years. They are at a dinner table. The food is warm. The house is clean. From the outside, everything looks fine. But she is sitting there quietly, carrying a weight she does not know how to put into words, because every time she has tried before, he either fixed it too quickly or dismissed it without meaning to. She does not feel heard. She feels managed. And there is a world of difference between the two. Psychologists have studied this phenomenon for decades, and what they consistently find is that emotional validation. The simple act of acknowledging how another person feels without immediately trying to solve it is one of the most powerful forces in a lasting relationship. A man who understands this does not rush to explain, defend, or correct. He leans in. He listens not to respond but to understand. And in doing so, he gives the woman he loves something that no gift, no trip, and no grand gesture can replace. He gives her the feeling of being truly seen. When a woman feels emotionally unseen in a relationship, she does not usually announce it. She withdraws slowly. Conversations become functional rather than intimate. She shares less of her inner world not because she has stopped caring, but because she has learned, through small repeated moments, that her emotional world does not feel safe in his hands. This is not about blame. Most men were raised in environments where emotions were meant to be resolved, not held, where vulnerability was something to get past, not sit inside of. And so when the woman they love comes to them hurting, the default response is to fix. But what she often needs first is for him to just be there, fully present, without an agenda. A man who learns this truth does not just become a better partner. He becomes the kind of man a woman builds her entire life around, because she knows that no matter what storms come, she has someone who will not flinch from her feelings. There is a second thing that quietly determines whether a woman stays or slowly starts to disappear, and it is one that most men overlook entirely, because it does not look like love to them. It looks like small talk. It looks like asking about her day. It looks like remembering that she mentioned something weeks ago about a coworker who was stressing her out and asking how that situation turned out. These things may seem minor. They are not. When a man pays attention to the small details of a woman's life, he is communicating something far deeper than words. He is telling her, without saying it, that she matters enough to hold space in his mind even when she is not in the room. Researchers at the Gottman Institute, one of the most respected relationship research centers in the world, found that couples who build what they call emotional maps of each other's inner lives are significantly more likely to remain deeply connected over time. An emotional map is simply knowing the details, the fears, the dreams, the frustrations, the small daily victories of the person you love. Most men think love is shown in the big moments. The anniversary dinners, the birthday surprises, the dramatic declarations, and while those things matter, they are not what holds a relationship together over years and decades. What holds it together is the accumulation of small attentions. The way he notices when she seems off before she says a word. The way he asks follow-up questions because he actually remembered what she told him last time. A woman who experiences this does not look elsewhere. She does not daydream about what else is out there. She looks at the man in front of her and feels something rare and beautiful. She feels chosen, not just once at the beginning, but daily, in the quiet and consistent way that truly lasting love is built. The third thing is one that shakes men to the core when they finally understand it, because it asks them to do something that can feel deeply uncomfortable. It asks them to be honest about their own limitations, not just honest with the woman they love, but honest with themselves. Many relationships carry a hidden weight, a version of a man that was presented in the beginning, and a real version of that man that slowly reveals itself over time. A man who pretended to enjoy things he did not enjoy, agreed with opinions he did not hold, and performed a version of stability he had not yet earned. Relationship coach David Bennett has pointed out that men often begin relationships by mirroring what the woman seems to want, only to eventually become their true selves, leaving the woman feeling like she fell in love with someone who does not quite exist anymore. Authenticity is not just a virtue. In love, it is a survival skill. Woman does not need a perfect man. She needs a real one. She needs someone whose words and actions exist in the same universe, someone who says what he means and means what he says. The fourth thing a man must understand is one that gets talked about often but rarely understood deeply, and that is the difference between a woman feeling loved and a woman feeling safe. These are not the same thing. A woman can love a man deeply and still not feel safe with him. Safe does not only mean physically protected, though that matters too. Safe means she can be wrong in front of him, and he will not use it against her. Safe means she can express a need, and he will not make her feel like a burden for having it. Safe means she can be tired and messy and uncertain, and she will not lose his affection because of it. A woman who feels safe in a relationship does not need to perform. She does not manage her words before she speaks them. She does not calculate how much of herself to show. She simply exists fully in the presence of the man she loves, and that kind of emotional freedom is what women describe again and again when they talk about the relationships that change their lives. Building safety in a relationship requires a man to examine how he responds in the moments that matter most. When she brings up something difficult, does he get defensive or does he stay open? When she cries, does he grow distant or does he draw closer? When she makes a mistake, does he remind her of it later or does he genuinely let it go? These are not theoretical questions. They are the actual architecture of emotional safety in a relationship. Every response in a moment of vulnerability either builds or erodes the foundation. Men who understand this are not passive. They are deeply intentional. They understand that love is not just a feeling, it is a daily practice. The fifth thing is something that society rarely prepares men for, and it is this. A woman who is growing needs a man who is also growing. She does not need someone to complete her. She needs someone who walks beside her, someone who is also reaching toward something, someone who has a sense of purpose that is his own and not borrowed from her energy. When a man stops growing, when he loses his ambition, his curiosity, or his sense of direction, it does not just affect him. It affects the entire emotional atmosphere of the relationship. Women are deeply attracted to intentionality in a man, to the sense that he is building something, learning something, becoming someone. This is not about wealth or status. A man working a modest job with deep passion and direction is magnetic in ways that a successful but directionless man is not. Clinical psychologist David Tien has written and spoken extensively about the fact that what keeps a woman committed over the long term is not just emotional connection, but the sense that the man she is with is genuinely invested in his own becoming. The sixth thing is about something so simple that most men roll their eyes when they first hear it, and then ache with recognition later. It is about appreciation, not the occasional thank you, not the acknowledgement that comes only after she has expressed frustration about not feeling appreciated, but the kind of daily, genuine, freely given recognition that says, I see what you bring to this relationship, and I do not take it for granted. Research from positive psychology has consistently shown that couples who express regular appreciation for each other maintain higher levels of relationship satisfaction over time. The ratio of positive interactions to negative ones in a healthy relationship is dramatically higher on the positive side. What that means in real terms is that the moments when a man notices what she does, the way she thinks, the effort she puts in, the beauty she carries, and says so without being prompted, those moments accumulate into a feeling that is irreplaceable. The seventh thing is the one that ties all the others together, and it is perhaps the one that requires the most courage from a man. It is the willingness to choose her again and again, not just when it is easy, but when it is inconvenient, not just when she is at her best, but when she is at her most difficult. Not just on the days when love feels like a reward, but on the days when it feels like work. The romanticized version of love that most people grow up watching in films suggests that real love is effortless, that if you have to work at it, something must be wrong. But every person who has built a love that lasted decades will tell you the opposite. They will tell you that love is a verb, and that the decision to show up for another person, even when your own day has been hard, even when you are not feeling connected, even when the friction between you is more present than the warmth, that decision is what makes love real. Because love, real love, the kind that holds through years and changes and loss and joy, is not something that happens to you. It is something you build, and every man who has ever held something that beautiful in his hands knows that there is nothing in this world worth more than knowing how to keep it. And there you have it, 7 things that most men were never taught, but every man who truly loves a woman needs to understand. None of this is about being perfect. None of it is about completely changing who you are. It is simply about paying attention, about showing up with intention, about choosing the woman you love, not just once at the beginning, but every single day in the quiet and ordinary moments that make up a real life together. If something in this resonated with you today, if there was even one moment where you thought to yourself, I needed to hear that, then this was made for you. Love is not just a feeling. It is a decision you make over and over again. And the man who understands, that is the man who never has to wonder where she went. We hope you genuinely enjoyed today's video. If it added something to your life, please give it a thumbs up, because it truly helps this channel reach the men who need to hear this most. And if you have not subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. We pour everything into every single one of them, all for you. Drop a comment below and tell us which of the 7 things hit you the hardest. We read every single comment, and we would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, for trusting us with your time, and for being part of this community. We will see you in the next one.